There are 6,000 emergency dispatchers in Florida. On January 17, 2008, one of them answered a call that would destroy her world. She heard a voice she knew better than her own, her daughter, begging for her life, and she could say nothing, could not scream, could not warn, because the rules were clear. Never compromise the line, never let the caller know you're listening. "Help me, please. He's coming back." So Carol Ann Lee sat there, professional, silent, dying inside, while her daughter Denise fought for her life on the other end of the line. This is the story of a mother's impossible choice, a husband's desperate hunt, and a system that failed at every turn. Northport, Florida, January 2008. Denise Amber Goff was 21, married to her high school sweetheart Nathan, living the life they'd dreamed. New house, plans for children, future wide open. She worked at the Peach Pit Diner. Regulars asked for her by name. She remembered birthdays, brought soup to sick neighbors. In a cynical world, Denise believed in goodness. 36-year-old Michael King lived a few miles away. High school dropout, rap sheet, burglary, assault, domestic violence, a ghost of a man carrying damage wherever he went. On January 17th, he woke up with a plan, packed his car, duct tape, rope, a gun, told himself he was just going to find a girl. At 11 a.m., Denise finished her shift. King followed her. At a red light on Toledo Blade Boulevard, he appeared at her window, gun in hand, eyes empty. 30 seconds, no witnesses. Denise Amber Lee vanished. King took her to his rented house, windows covered in garbage bags, the stench of chemicals and decay. For hours, she endured unspeakable horror. But Denise was still thinking, still fighting. At 12:52 p.m., King made his first mistake. He left the room. Denise found a cell phone. Hands shaking, duct tape on her wrists, she dialed 911. The dispatcher who answered was Carol Ann Lee, Denise's mother, 11 years on the job, trained to compartmentalize, to distance, to treat every emergency as a problem, not a person. "I'm Denise. He's got me. Please." She heard her daughter's location, her terror, then a door opening. The phone ripped away. The line went dead. Carol Ann sat there, hands shaking on the keyboard. If she screamed, if she broke protocol, King might kill Denise immediately. So she did the hardest thing any mother has done. She treated her daughter like any other caller, entered the information, flagged it priority, watched dispatch go to Northport PD. 97 seconds, a mother heard her child's terror and could not acknowledge it. The call was dispatched, but the address was in Sarasota County's jurisdiction, precious minutes lost to bureaucracy. Police visited King's house, knocked, no answer, noted covered windows, something off, left without entering. Denise was inside, still alive. They didn't know. Nathan Lee got home at 5:30 p.m. Denise's car was gone. Not strange yet, but by 7 he was frantic. This wasn't her. She never disappeared. He drove to the diner, retraced her route, called everyone. At 8 p.m., Northport PD took his report, skeptically. Adults disappear. Give it 24 hours. "You don't understand. She would never." Nathan refused to wait. He searched empty lots, wooded areas, knocked on doors until his hands bled. He didn't know the system had already failed her, that his wife had called for help, and help hadn't come. Meanwhile, King was paranoid, the meth wearing off. He decided to move her, forced Denise into his car, bound in the back seat, drove to a Home Depot in Port Charlotte, left her in the parking lot while he bought supplies. Denise worked her hands free, found King's personal phone, and called 911 again. Different dispatch center, different operator, no recognition, just professional distance. Denise gave her location, white Camry, Home Depot, he's inside. She was alone, unguarded, minutes from rescue. Then King returned, found her on the phone, ripped it away, drove off before police arrived. Charlotte County had the location, the vehicle, confirmation of kidnapping in progress, and still, the response was delayed, confused, hampered by communication failures. Denise Amber Lee was running out of time. King drove to an isolated construction site in Sarasota County, dragged Denise from the car. She fought, scratches on his face, DNA under her nails, but he was bigger, armed, merciless. He forced her into a shallow grave he'd prepared earlier, buried her alive. The medical examiner would determine she suffocated slowly, conscious for minutes, looking up at the Florida sky through 6 inches of dirt. 21 years old, married 19 months, called for help twice, died alone. At 6 a.m. January 18th, a construction worker found disturbed earth, called 911. They found her shallow grave, her body, the evidence of her final hours, and her fight. Nathan was at the police station when they told him. Carol Ann was ending her shift, 11 hours of answering emergencies while her daughter lay in the dirt. When they told her, she walked outside, sat on the curb, and screamed until she had no voice left. Michael King was arrested January 19th, hitchhiking on I-75, disheveled, claiming innocence. The evidence told the truth. Denise's DNA in his car, his under her nails, Home Depot purchases, the grave dug with his tools. Most damning, Denise's voice, those 2 911 calls, clear, terrified, fighting. She did everything right. She was brave, resourceful, persistent, and she still died. August 2009, the trial. King claimed meth-induced psychosis, but the jury saw the preparation, the rope, the tape, the grave dug in advance. This wasn't psychosis. This was planning. First-degree murder, death sentence, but for Nathan and Carol Ann, hollow. Justice is the word we use when we can't have what we want. They wanted her back. The Denise Amber Lee Act passed months after her death, mandated better training, improved communication between jurisdictions, faster kidnapping response, a system rebuilt in her name. But laws don't bring back the dead, don't erase a mother's professional silence, don't fill a husband's empty bed. What do we take from this? Maybe it's about systems, the gap between protocol and reality. Denise's case led to real changes. Her death was a catalyst. Maybe it's about voice. Denise used hers twice under impossible circumstances. Her voice became evidence that convicted her killer. Her voice outlasted her. Help me, please. Maybe it's about Carol Ann Lee, who followed the rules even when they cost her everything, who represents every first responder carrying trauma they can't acknowledge. Or maybe it's simpler. Denise Amber Lee was real. She existed. She loved and was loved. She was not a statistic, not a case file, not a cautionary tale. She was a person, and she mattered. In Sarasota County Emergency Operations Center, a plaque reads, "In memory of Denise Amber Lee, her voice saved others." Her last words were not, "I love you." They were, "He's coming back. Please hurry." We didn't hurry enough, but her voice remains. And somewhere in the spaces between the pain, Denise is still smiling, still kind, still believing in a world that didn't deserve her. Stay safe out there. Do like and subscribe.